Who here loves when their nails are done perfectly? Me. I'm Sarah Gibson Tuttle, and I started Olive in June because let's be real, we all deserve to have gorgeous nails, but who wants to spend a fortune or half their day at the nail salon? That's why I created the Gel Mani system, so you can have that salon-quality gel manicure right at home. And guess what? The best part, each mani only costs $2. Yep, you heard me, $2. No more $60, $70, $80 salon trips that eat up your day. Now you can paint your nails whenever you want, wherever you want, and trust me, you're going to be obsessed with your nails, and everyone is going to ask you where you got them done. And here's a little something extra. Head over to oliveinjune.com and get 20% off your first Gel Mani system with code GELMANI20. That's code GELMANI20 for 20% off your first Mani system at oliveinjune.com/GELMANI20.
The courage to be you. There is a quiet moment in life when something shifts. It isn't dramatic shift, but it is discernible. You realize that you are no longer interested in proving anything. You want your presence, expertise, even life, to have a meaning. You want to be precise. You want to have impact. You want to show up as yourself without any excuses, justifications, or dilution. Lately, I have been watching this happening around me, inside me, and across different ages, different professions, different life stages. This episode is about that moment. The moment when courage is no longer about starting over, but about standing fully in who you are now. Welcome to Unbox the podcast. I'm Sahar Palmer, intuitive mentor and your host. If you're new here, this year's theme is the courage to be you. Show up, stay true. And today I want to talk about what that actually looks like in real life. Not as an idea or motivation, but as a lived experience. Flourishing doesn't expire with age. Over the past few weeks, something meaningful has been unfolding in my life. New opportunities, unexpected recognition, conversations, opening doors that I did not chase. Some of these moments surprised me. Others felt quietly inevitable. What struck me most was not the opportunity itself, but the timing. There is a misconception that flourishing belongs to the youth, that relevance fades away with age, that impact has an expiry date, making one feel irrelevant. What I see instead is something very different. With age, many people become more selective, more intentional, more interested in contributing than validation. This is not a decline, but refinement. And refinement requires courage. So how do you know when courage is calling you? Your body signals when it is time for you to show up differently. I often tell my clients that the body is the first dimension of change. Before we think, before we decide, before we rebrand or pivot, the body signals readiness. Most misalignment is not pathology, it's feedback. Feedback that we're not listening to. You might feel tired, for example, deplete, or even tight when you say yes to the wrong thing. Or you might feel relief when finally you speak your truth plainly and simply. When we understand how our systems and biology operate, we stop seeing ourselves as broken or something that needs fixing. We see ourselves as intelligent. We read the signs, we interpret them, and we decide to act accordingly. There is nothing to fix, but there is recalibration. And recalibration is part of growth. And that's courage calling you. Okay, one of my cats, Mimi, is fixated on the monitor sitting next to the mic in case you're interested to know. So this looks like an important episode. So what does authentic expression look like? Well, authentic expression is not a trend.
Shipping, billing, admin, payroll, marketing. You're managing all the things, so why waste time sending important documents the old-fashioned way? Mail and ship when you want, how you want with Stamps.com. Print postage on demand 24/7 and schedule pickups from your office or home. Save up to 90% with automated rate shopping. That's why over 1 million small businesses trust Stamps.com. Go to Stamps.com and use code PODCAST to try Stamps.com risk-free for 60 days.
Recently, I have noticed many people approaching personal branding or their communication differently. It is less polished, there is less performance, but there is more coherence. Clients are no longer asking, how do I look professional? They're asking, how do I sound like myself? And that is a very different question. Again, because authenticity is not aesthetic, it is structural. When who you are privately on the inside and who you are publicly begin to align, your energy changes, your voice settles, your decisions are naturally clearer. This is where real presence comes from, when the inside is coherent with the outer image you're living or projecting, when your heart is aligned with your mind. And this is where real presence comes from, when the inside is coherent with the outside, when the heart is aligned with the mind, when what you're projecting on the outside or communicating is aligned with who you truly are in your essence. So what does this look like in real life? When people work with me, it rarely begins with a brand or a platform. It begins with clarity, who you are when you stop managing perception. What are you ready to stand behind, even if it costs comfort? Only then would things like bios, platforms, or channels make sense. Not as marketing, but as an expression of who you truly are and what are you about. You simply cannot communicate what you have not embodied. As it happens, during the past few weeks, my mentoring has been about this: aligning clients and their professional profiles, creatives, communicators, and business people who are creating their own platform to make sense of their expertise and their life. Courage isn't loud. Courage does not always look bold. It unfolds gradually. It is often quiet, but it is unmistakable. When it is there, others feel it too. Ask yourself this week, where am I ready to show up without justification? What am I no longer willing to dilute? What feels precise now, even if it wouldn't have been 5 years ago? And if you are on a professional or a social media platform, do visit your profile's bio and see if it still fits who you are now. There is no rush, but there is timing. If this episode resonated, please stay with me this season. Follow or subscribe to Unbox the podcast on your preferred platform. I'm also on YouTube at Unbox with Sahar. This way, you don't miss the conversations we're building here. And if you want to explore your own recalibration, you will find a lot of resources on my website, saharhunaidi.com. Until next week, remind yourself to show up and stay true.